Hey everyone, JCS StarCraft here, bringing you Game 2 of the best of 3 semifinals between Huk and Naruto for the Go4SC2 number 32 Weekly Cup. And action getting started here on Metalopolis. Huk going to be spawning as the red Protoss in the 12 o'clock position, and Naruto going to be spawning as the purple Terran in the 3 o'clock position. And it seems like Huk had some sort of delay going on in the first game, and and understandably why. It looks like some of these broadcasters, and this time no one there, so people can't stand watching replays anymore. Yes, although I am one of these replay streamers, so pretty interesting comment by Huk there. Really messing with this game, not allowing him to pull off the micro. He's experiencing a bunch of lag, and so right now I think Huk won't be, hopefully can be able to play at the top of this game this time. This obviously not being live streamed by me at all, so just watching the replay like Huk would enjoy. And Naruto right now doing really well. I think would qualified for the ESL Pro Series League in Germany, which is like the 17th season that they've had it, and a very great event to win overall. I recently broadcasted one of his early matches, first round matches I guess, between him and D-Muslin, and D-Muslin was able to take that one, but Naruto, a very strong showing here in the number 32 Go4SC2, is ranked very highly on several websites who have ranking indices like GoSu Gamer and SC2 Inside. Huk, meanwhile, is ranked incredibly high on the SC2 ranks, which I think aggregates mostly the Battle.net points from Blizzard. He's currently ranked number 2 in the entire world, so one of the strongest Protoss players out in the game right now. Not somebody that you want to draw on a ladder, and not somebody that you want to mess with. So in the first game, went with the 2-gate robo. Should be seeing some interesting play here on Metalopolis as they start discovering where they are and where their opponent is. That they are right here, a very short air distance right now. You could almost jump over that whole thing if you were Neo from the Matrix, but you're not. So possibly can't do that in this game. Although it should be interesting to see what Huk is going to do this time. Pretty standard opening from him right now, getting that cybernetic score. A lot of Protoss players favoring not to get that first Zealot, but just waiting for their cyber core to go up, as most opponents aren't able to get out any sort of substantial army in that time. So, you know, just start with Stalkers and go from there. At least be able to hold off any sort of early Reaper and just saving their money for their economy and establishing everything else as well. Huk going to be throwing down a pylon out here because this will be very vulnerable in the game, this kind of area of smoke cloud and everything as well. So Huk does have a probe in Naruto's base that has gone I'm pretty sure it was detected, but now it's just run off to the corner, so might be able to throw down if he's going to be researching that warp gate technology, although getting out that stalker early in case there are possibly any Reapers being pushed out onto the map. Right now, Naruto just kind of taking his time scouting away, getting that robo second as well. We might be seeing another gateway going down, but you know, if he could just plant one of those, plant a pylon in the base of Naruto, it doesn't seem like Naruto really knows that this probe is still there. Maybe thought he ran it out a long time ago, or maybe this SCV is just dying to find that other one as well. So second gateway going down, so it looks like 2-gate robo yet again for Huk. And slowly researching that warp gate, not going to chrono boost that at all. Looks like pretty standard play, not going to try anything crazy right now. And Huk just going to be scouting again with this probe. Just going to kind of look around and see what his opponent's up to. Looks like Naruto going to be going with a very similar build as last game. All bio against his opponent, and Stim being researched first, allowing him to kite and get in there and do some damage. And it looks like there is going to be a late Reaper coming out for... My phone alarm is going off, and hopefully it will go off soon. So there we go, and back to the game and back to the action. It looks like Huk is going to set up and hold off any sort of early push by Naruto, but Naruto is not really making that early push and just wants to go in for some sort of timing attack. Going to be researching combat, I assume, just like last time, and factory is going down for him. This Reaper was thinking about jumping across the cliffs, but it realizes that it just can't make that leap across the building. Maybe it needs some nitro pack or some boost. Huk going to be walking in with this observer and going to see everything going on yet again. Reaper trying to get some scouting down, but not going to be able to. Great deny by Huk to hold his units here and kind of have them out on the edges of the cliff. So as soon as that Reaper is approaching it, he will get damaged and possibly die right away as he jumps up onto the cliff. Looks like Templar Archives going down for Huk. So slightly different play on this game for him. Knows that his opponent now is again committed to this all bio army, and should be interesting to see whether or not Naruto will eventually get a Ghost Academy to help counter those Templars. Really, that EMP very strong against the Protoss, and if he is going with the ground army, I guess that that would be something to do, but potentially not his cup of tea. Is getting concussive shell this time, and we might be seeing just a timing attack from him. Looking at the research tab, Sai is being researched on Huk's side, so once that Psy Storms comes out, it might be very, very difficult for Naruto to endure any sort of major battle. And I think pushing in with a good sense of timing on when Psy Storm might be finished, as well as other things like Colossus with a thermal lance, trying to get in there with this army before that happens, or just maybe just trying to hold down this Xel'Naga watchtower. So looked like it might be an attack. Huk does see it coming, so should be able to prepare for it. He does have one sentry out, so can block off the ramp for a little bit of time. But meanwhile, the Templars are coming in. They won't be ready to cast Psy Storm even when it's ready. They need a bit more mana because they don't have that tablet research. What is it called? The Meridian Amulets. That's what it's called. It's not a tablet. I'm thinking about iPods, and that is incorrect, as this is StarCraft 2, not Applecraft 2. Factory now floating in for Huk, and going to get hit on the backside as he's taking shots at it. Will the sentry choke off at this point, or is it too busy trying to take down the factory? It looks like it might have been too busy. Sai is almost done. Sai is done, and just enough HP to throw down one or two Psy Storms, although this Templar won't be ready just yet. Naruto gonna fly his factory out there, does see everything going down, and waiting for his medevacs to reinforce. Right now, what is being researched? The amulet is being researched for Huk. He really wants to be able to cast oh, now Naruto going to be splitting up his units and just dropping down on the backside. This is going to force Huk to run away temporarily, and now the forces are split. A Psy Storm is being thrown down on a small contingent of forces, not the main army as well. Feedback going back down onto the medevac. That medevac, he really wants the medevac to go down. Naruto trying his best to kite, using the concussive shells to his advantage right now, hitting and running, and Huk really is going to have a hard time engaging. Look at how slow those Zealots are, and they are clumped up onto that ramp. Not a good thing for Huk to have happen to his army. This Templar pretty much going to be useless for a little bit. Now choking them off, not allowing to run anymore, which is great. A great move by Huk. Might be a little too late, unfortunately. The Zealots do not have charge, so they're going to be super slow trying to approach these Marauders. And Templar going down. It looks like Huk going to be in a bit of trouble. Naruto doesn't have much of an army. Could land this factory and start pumping out a few Hellions, but I think just going to be using it to gain sight of the high ground and trying to kite his Marauders, although they kind of died a samurai style, just cut up into pieces by the Zealots and falling apart in mid stance. So Naruto now going to be still using that factory to gain sight. There aren't that many anti-air units on the ground, just that Stalker right there. So that's going to take a long time for the Stalker to kill the factory, although it will be able to push it out sufficiently. It looks like Naruto finally going to be getting that Ghost Academy. Kind of tired of the fact that his opponent is Psy Storming him to death. Although Huk didn't have that, wasn't able to get that many Templars out. These Templars are going to be a lot deadlier now that the amulet has finished researching. Combat shield going down for Naruto as well, and going to be setting up his expansion at the natural, as he's going to start mining out of this main pretty soon. I think Naruto might have been just trying to one base win it, but his Protoss opponent was going one base as well. So looks like a drop kind of happened on the backside, and I think there was a pylon here, so was able to take out that pylon, but not too much damage as the forces were able to reinforce this time. More racks is going down for Naruto, so this is going to be an all bio army. Are the ghosts coming out right now? Yes, there is a ghost coming out. EMP will be shot at, and shields will be lost. Mana will be lost as well. Largely going to be a very interesting micro battle between the two of these players, as army count, Naruto is ahead, was able to win favorably in the exchange. Huk, poor Huk, more lag for him as well. Unfortunately, not favoring Huk in this battle. Lag seems to be plaguing him kind of a bit, but I think Naruto, if lag should be on both sides, so but you know, you never know, and this factory is gonna pop down at this point, burning to its death, fire floating in the air. Here comes an army by Naruto. Huk able to watch this the whole time, and yes, I guess Huk just maybe, I don't know what his internet connection is like, but experiencing all sorts of spikes. Naruto feels like it's pretty normal, and taking a poke at Blizzard for the fact that they have to go through Battle.net at this point. And Naruto going to be pushing in here. This factory going to explode in mid-air. It'd be cool if the factory actually did damage as it exploded, because then you could possibly use them as like ticking time bombs, which would make sense physically. A Side Storm going down, Naruto trying his best to walk around that and giving his units just a little bit of tiny breathing room from the medevacs. Huk focusing on the medevacs. The medevacs, very, very important equation in the MM and M. Once they are taken down, it really takes away the ability for the MMN to stim. And just right now, overwhelming forces, 100 to 49. I think Huk really, unfortunately, doesn't have a strong chance to retaliate at this point. Even with the Side Storms, it's just not going to be enough. There aren't that many units out on the field for Huk at all, and it looks like that might be game for Huk pretty soon. 91 over 41. Naruto temporarily retreating, does have a ghost in the mix, and maybe at this point figures that his opponent has more than he does. I think if he pushed in right now, because looking at the harvester count, it looks like Huk only has 3 units out on the field, and Naruto has more than enough to push in at this point, but just wants to make sure and make sure that his, obviously has a lot of respect for Huk as a player, and Huk was able to convincingly hold things off. Naruto going to be taking this time to really out macro his opponent. I don't think he's aware, of course, that he is so far ahead in the army count, because if he was, he might just push in at this point anyways. And going to be reinforcing his army, healing everyone up, getting ready for that Side Storm, and just make sure everyone is at their tip-top shape. Huk knows this is happening and has bought himself a little bit of time with a very strong defense, but might not be enough. It looks like Naruto is throwing down a scan indicating that I am coming for you, Huk. My units are about to move in. Multiple scans going down. Able to see the Templar on the high ground, and this Ghost now just taking shots at it. Not able to morph in time. Looks like it's going to be, and no, the expansion was cancelled by Huk. Everything going down, and Naruto looks like he's poised to win this game as well to move on to the finals. Huk with his last stand. A lot of zealots, a handful of pinch of stalkers, and 1 Side Storm left, I think, and that's pretty much it. EMP going down. These units are going to fall really fast without their shields, and a GG from Huk. So a great game from both players. Naruto going to advance to the finals of the Go4SC2 32, and gonna wish him good luck there. So this has been a broadcast by JCS, and I'm